Hi, welcome to Ukrainian Connections. My name is Kathy Peroshi-Harris, Katrusha Parashchi-Harris. Ukrainian Connections is a show made in Thunder Bay, and I like to interview people from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, the world, people traveling through here that want to share their stories either about their life, their history, things about the arts, the culture, traditions, and bring them to you as our viewers. So today we are continuing a part 2 of an interview that we started last show, and that's with Mike and Elsie Petryna, our guests. And we're talking about their many years of life. And Mike is our centenarian. He has had 100 years of age in October. And so he's our birthday boy still. You get to celebrate 100 for the whole year. You know that. Yeah. Okay. So he's expecting a cake today. And his lovely wife, Elsie. And if you missed the first part, go back and watch that first, because we're going to continue here in episode 2. So I wanted to hear a little bit more about your farm that you lived on in Slate River. How big was it? Try to give me an understanding of the size of it and what was on it.
Well, the farm was 300 acres of wonderful farmland, almost level. There were no rocks, which pleased my parents very much. And over the years, we at that first glance of that farm when my parents brought me to see, I could not believe it. No, I can't believe it. I was in awe. So anyway, they brought some cattle over, and I watched over the cattle over these 100 acres in the summer. I even worked for John Chappell one autumn, looking after his cattle. John Chappell had a furniture and clothing store in Fort William, and he had a farm, and I worked there a few months. Anyway, as the years went by, my parents were able to buy a neighbor property across the road, which was 100 acres, and a few more years later, another neighbor wanted to sell out, so we bought another 100 acre. Wow. Combined, it was 300 wonderful acres with no stones.
With no stones, I love that part. No stones on it. Those stones can be a real pain.
That's right. So
and how many cattle did you end up with?
We ended up at least over 100 head of cattle.
And about 60 milkers.
Twice a day. As the years go, as we progress in buying land, we also progress in milking machinery and farming. So as I was progressed in farming, life was easier. But then the hours were long yet, because we had to look after these cattle. Anyway, the worst part of dairy cattle is when an animal got sick. It either died or almost got crippled, and the veterinarian had to give the animal intravenous before the animal recovered. So life was very hard with dairy cattle, but we survived that. And eventually we decided to get out of farming, and we heard.
Well, our son took over. Our son took over the farm, and his wife.
Our son decided he wanted to take it over the farm or find another farm. So we said we can't farm without him. So we decided to sell him, but I did not leave him when we sold him. I didn't leave him high and dry. I did go and help him twice a day milking cows. Yeah. So anyway, eventually he was able to get some help with a wife, and we decided to get into market gardening. We grew everything. We moved on the road, and the condition was ideal. A shed, a water, building, everything was ideal. So we were market garden for about 10 years, and then we decided to get out of it because we were getting old.
Okay, okay.
Okay. You don't want to talk about getting old. So I hear the talk about potatoes, that you had a lot of potatoes. What were your favorite kind of potatoes to grow? Was there a special type?
It was called a Sebago, but a very late maturing. It had to have frost to kill the tops of the one. A very late mature. They were grown in Prince Edward Island.
Okay.
And it was the best. And we used to sell it to the local restaurants and hotels, and they preferred our potatoes. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. How many acres was this market garden? About.
Well, at that time, when we were on the dairy farm, we were
Right.
growing potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when we left the farm, we were still growing potatoes, but not to that great
Okay.
extent anymore. And then we narrowed it down that we were doing all kinds of vegetables, and we're going doing market. Oh gosh, I think I was going about 4 days a week, and it was wonderful. We had we had all the great facilities to prepare the vegetables and everything, and yeah, I enjoyed being with the people, and we did well. And then came a point where all things must come to an end, and got involved a lot with the church work. We were both involved. And doing a lot of cooking at the church and ham making, and that's when they were doing the expansion at the Holy Cross, and they were making hundreds of dozens of pitterhead for Safeways and everywhere. We were providing potatoes. Actually, we were getting potatoes from Brockelmans and delivering them for that purpose. Yeah, so we've been keeping busy, volunteering at, like I say, at the church, and yes, life's been good. As long as we had our health, we were doing well.
So, what was your favorite hobby aside from working on the farm? I'm going to ask you first, Mike, if you had time for any hobbies.
Radio. I was fascinated by radio. In fact, I even took an evening course, and I built a radio
Okay.
with the help of the teacher.
Okay. Okay. And were you able to listen to radio stations, or what did you listen to?
Yeah, radio stations. My favorite were stations that had Western music or folk music. And there's one station I used to get. It was Duluth, Minnesota. They had 4 stations, radio stations, and there was one. There was a educational station, and 3 other stations, commercial, and also a Christian radio. In fact, they're still on the air.
Okay. Wow. Wow. So you built this radio, and then you were able to connect with that.
I had to build a long aerial, a string along wire on 2 poles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it as high as the windmill?
Yeah.
No, not quite, not
It's on
quite,
top
not
of
quite.
the house.
On top of the
The
house.
house is a 2-story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was fascinated by radio since I was a little boy.
Very cool. So we're going to be right back. Welcome back to Ukrainian Connections. We're in the part 2 series here, and we just learned that Mike loved radio, but we've also heard that Mike was involved in a lot of organizations and played poker and loved to work in the fields with disking and plowing, and Elsie was left with milking the cows. Did you used to sing when you milked the cows?
Oh gosh, no. But he had a radio blaring all the time, so
She hated it.
You survived marriage though, hating that radio.
Oh,
It's
I
okay.
don't know. I think I deserve a medal.
So Elsie, what did you do? What did you do in the winters when all the fields were done, the cows were milked for the day? Did you get involved in
Well, I did go to the Women's Institute. I had that opportunity. I was on home and school, the home and school, so that kept me, that was my outlet. But yes, we had the opportunity to, well, our institute group decided we were going to Prince Edward Island on a trip. So we made pitoja and hundreds of dozens of pierogi pitoja and sold them to the people in the community and raised money. And I remember it was so cold, we would put them out on trays and put them outside on top of a car and let them freeze. But one time, they didn't freeze quite hard enough, but we packed them all away, and when we went to take them out, they were just one solid mess. But anyway, we raised enough money. Plus, we had to put in, the extra ourselves. But it was a wonderful opportunity. We made it all the way to Prince Edward Island. We flew to Montreal, and then we went by bus. It was a lovely opportunity.
How many women were there?
Oh, there must have been about 20 of us.
Okay. And about how old were you when you did this?
I guess I must have been in my 30s or so, or 40s. I'm
so
not
who
sure.
looked after all the kids?
Oh, well, they left them at home. They
were survivors,
well,
right?
You were already. You didn't miss me, did you?
Her daughter's in the background here.
No, they were pretty grown up. Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Did you do any crafts like embroidering or knitting or crocheting?
Oh, I loved crafts. I loved to do anything, whatever was, they were anything new coming up. I enjoyed folk art painting. What else did I do? I remember when you were making hats. I actually made a hat. It was the embroidery. Yeah, the embroidery. I enjoyed embroidery.
Made all the embroidery for Vishnyanko dancers.
Oh yeah, I made all the
dancing. Yeah. So yeah, Vishnyanko is the oldest dance group in Thunder Bay.
Pisankia. I love to do Pisankia. Oh goodness gracious, do I remember her name? I forget her name. She did a wonderful job of teaching. And the Pisankia. I have a lot of them yet, and I brought my case with all the dyes. I don't know if they're going to work yet or not, but I have a dozen eggs that I brought with me. Don't dare drop one.
They're still full.
Right. So I enjoy all kinds of crafts. I love to sew. I made suits for our youngest one's first communion, and then and for Michael, when he was in the band at Selkirk, and I made him a suit too. So I like to sew. I like to do I like to. I was good with my hand. When I had, I didn't go to bed too early.
That's right. So for some of you out there, you may not know what Women's Institute is, but it is an organization primarily of farm women, and it was an opportunity for them to have an education in doing different things with both their hands and their minds. They not only learned how to do embroidery and sewing and cooking and entertaining, they also learned about finances and how to farm and balance books. And so it was a great thing, and it still exists today. There's big Women's Institute in farming communities, not just in Canada, but there's a big flow of them in England and throughout different parts of the world. And stemming from that, there was also 4-H, which is the groups for kids.
Yes, our children were all involved in that. A lot of different opportunities for them.
Yeah. So farming had its perks and its fun stuff.
Yes.
In addition to the radio, access to that radio, that beautiful radio. Okay, we're going to be right back. I have a few questions for you. So you two have been married for 72 years?
Right.
Wow. What's your anniversary date?
August the 8th.
August the 8th.
We were 1953 was when we were married.
1953. Wow. That's a long time. So how have you managed to stay together and continue your relationship? I won't make any assumptions about how the relationship is, but how have you managed to work out your differences, work with your similarities, and stay together?
Well, I would think that she allowed me to do a lot of contact with the world. Also, she had the children to look after, of course.
So you were scot-free. So you worked out who was going to look after what?
We did what we had to be done.
That's right.
It had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Milking cows or looking after the harvest or anything. It had to be done. There's no ifs or what.
Yeah, yeah. When a crop needs to come in, you need to address it. When the cow needs to be milked, you need to milk it, and you work together to make it all happen. Okay.
And she was a stone. What do you call it?
Your rock?
She's a rock. She's the rock.
She was a rock of the marriage.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
If there was any obstacle, she would say, "Mikey, we can do it. We can do it." There's the rock.
The rock and the cheerleader. Yes, all in one. So Elsie, do you have anything to add to that? What are the secrets of staying together for 72 years?
What's the secret? It's just a good place to be. It was a good relationship. I mean, it may seem strange to other people, but the way it worked, but it worked good for us. He would have his naps and I would do the dishes, and then when we were done, we'd go out to the field, and I accepted that because I always felt I was stronger than he was physically. Mm-hmm. So I just having respect for each other's needs, and I think that was it. Just having respect for each other's.
So you knew each other's strengths and limitations,
That's right.
and you made it work.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. Yeah. There was always the funny side to an answer of this nature as well. So what are some of your secrets in staying healthy and living so long?
Well, I had very many illnesses. That's why my voice kept deteriorating. Mm-hmm. As a young boy, coming home from school, I have to brag. People would stop me on the road to the rural school, ask me to sing.
He had a beautiful voice when he was young.
And I got diphtheria and ruined my voice and my life.
Oh, wow.
By the grace of God, I married her, overlooked all my faults.
Okay. You were okay that he couldn't sing anymore?
No.
Oh, he was fine the way he was. He was a nice. I liked him. I loved him. Yes, it was all good. It was just everything just seemed to fall into place, and I put up with my mother-in-law, God rest her soul. But maybe she made me a better person because of it. She made me stronger maybe because of that. So may she rest in peace.
So do you have any other secrets about or advice for those of us who want to live long and be healthy, even though we may have to overcome illnesses?
Forgiveness.
Okay.
Say that again, Mike.
I think that word is forgiveness.
Forgiveness? Okay.
And just some good old Ukrainian food, a good pot of borscht and some cabbage rolls and just good. Well, that's what happened on the farm. We had homegrown meat, we had homegrown eggs and vegetables, and we all ate healthy. Mm-hmm. I think that helped a lot in raising our family. Mm-hmm. And so that was, what else can I say? They all learned responsibilities. In the mornings, I would be in the barn when they got up in the morning, and the children would get up, and they would hopefully had some kind of a breakfast. But I wasn't there to get them off to school, this is one thing that I do regret. I wasn't there for the children when they went in the mornings when they went to school to see that they were, properly fed and dressed. But the Nestle's Quick went down rather quickly, and the milk in the fridge disappeared. So at least they had their Nestle's Quick in the morning. And
And they turned out okay, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
except for like I say, 3 of them had celiac, which is it's an inherited thing. So
Right.
it made their lives somewhat challenging.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have shared so many amazing things with us today that I hope people can see that a healthy life, a beautiful life, is possible, and
Challenges.
you need the challenges, the obstacles. If everything's too easy,
You just overcome them. You just you just don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
yeah. And I like what you said about your mother-in-law. Maybe that made you stronger because of some of those challenges you had, and it's hard to move into somebody else's domain, and
it was probably hard for her to, yes.
So
Like my father-in-law said, you do as I tell you. I do. You don't wipe the baseboards with the same cloth you're washing the floor with. It's my house, and you do it like I tell you.
Oh, well, I really appreciate you spending the time with me today for 2 shows. Did you want anything to add to some more words of wisdom before we say goodbye to our audience?
Keep the faith. Go to church. It'll overcome everything.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all I can offer.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith. Okay. Elsie?
I guess I can second that too.
Okay.
Yes, keep the faith and stay strong and hang in there.
Hang in there. Okay.
And it's wonderful. I'm just the thought of being by myself would be just scary.
Yeah. So being grateful too.
Very grateful
for everything.
That's
Yeah.
right. Very
Yeah.
grateful.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elsie. Okay,
Our
this
pleasure.
was
Thank you for
lovely.
having us.
Yeah.
This is a real honor.
It's an honor for us and Ukrainian Connections, and thank you to your daughter Diane for helping us
Thank you, Diane.
put this together, and hope you enjoyed our 2-part show, and all the best to all of you. And if you're watching this in the new year, Happy New Year to everyone, and wish you all the best.